Ahoy hoy everyone, it's Craig
and Rhino,
and today we are at Disney Springs for another Disney dining review.
Yes.
Before we get started, I want to remind you this is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel. If you like our content and you want to support us, please consider booking a vacation through Dreams Unlimited Travel. It costs you no extra money and you get the support of one of those amazing Dreams Unlimited Travel agents. So head over to dreamsunlimitedtravel.com today for a free no obligation quote. Okay, Rhino, what are we doing today in terms of our dining review?
Well, we're going to go to D-Luxe Burger because, as always, not as always, but we've seen a seasonal burger that has piqued our interest and slowed our heart rates, it will look like. So
yes, so they are actually honoring Latin American food at Disney Springs and all over Walt Disney World. It started on September 15th, I believe it's running through October 15th, and there are a bunch of different items that you can find throughout the entire resort, but there's two today at Disney Springs that we're trying specifically. One is at D-Luxe Burger, as Rhino has said, and the other, of course, the Daily Poutine. I know.
He had a fire ant on his arm.
I know. It was starting to bite me, so that was fantastic. Thanks for the assist.
You're welcome. We thought, who better to review these food items than two white dudes? So.
Exactly. Yeah. So we're going to start with the burger at D-Luxe Burger before we move to the Daily Poutine. We're going to be unhealthy. We're hopefully going to like it, and we hope you enjoy it.
We went with the Tripleta burger, which is the seasonal offering, like we said, celebrating Hispanic and Latin American cultures here at Disney Springs. Together We Are Magia. That's their phrase here. But a Tripleta is like my go-to sandwich whenever I'm at like a Puerto Rican bakery or sandwich place or something like that. There's a really great place in Springfield, Massachusetts, if you ever find yourself up there to try. But this is a play on that. So this is the Tripleta burger, which is the signature blend patty, black forest ham, pork belly, Swiss, lettuce, tomato, fried potato sticks, and mayo ketchup, all for $12.99. And let me tell you, it looks sloppy. I'm happy to be here splitting this one in half with Craig because it looks like this is gonna be, this looks like a lot. Also, I just grabbed this half. I'm worried I took too many ingredients, but there we go. She's dripping. There is a hearty portion of meat in this sandwich, of course. I find that the Black Forest ham is sort of overpowering everything else. It's not bad. I did just get like a tiny chewy part of the pork belly, and that's like that thing when you have the last chicken nugget or the last bite of a chicken sandwich and you know you get that little chew that you're like, oh, why did this happen? The potato sticks aren't really doing much. I feel like, yeah, trying them, I feel like they might have been fried a long time ago and they've been sitting out in the humidity, so they're like soft. They're not adding that like crunch that I want from them, because I love to have potato sticks or like kettle cooked chips to a sandwich any day, but you got to do that like right away. But it's pretty good. I feel like it's actually a little light on the mayo ketchup on my side here, but it's getting a lot of juices from the meat. I mean, it's flavorful. I don't not like it. It just feels like there's a lot more things on here than what I am tasting. But Craig, you're a lot better at pulling apart flavors, so you'll have to let me know what you think of this.
I enjoy looking at this and seeing all of the different ingredients stand out on their own. Obviously, the tomatoes hard to see on here, but you know, you can definitely see the pork belly, the Black Forest ham, the potato sticks on top there, the lettuce, the beef. I'm gonna date myself with this one though, but it's such a thin patty. I want to say like, where's the beef? Classic Wendy's. I mean, there's enough on here. When you have this many other toppings, you technically don't need a big thick patty, but honestly, it's one of my complaints with D-Luxe is that I feel like they could make it a little better in general, as Rhino is kicking away a squirrel.
It crawled on my leg.
It crawled on your leg?
That's why I just freaked
out. Oh my
out.
gosh, that's hilarious. But okay, well, we're gonna take care of the squirrel, but as we're doing that, I'll go ahead and take a bite of this this delicious looking hamburger, cheeseburger,
Burgermeister.
Rhino, I have to agree with basically everything you said about this to an extent. For me, when you get a bite of mostly Black Forest ham, that is the predominant flavor over anything else on here, my first bite was actually mostly pork belly, and I thought that was actually really, really good. That saltiness of the pork belly just helped elevate all the rest of the flavors. The biggest disappointment on this is the potato sticks. They are soggy and mushy. They really need that crunch to add the difference in texture, and that's kind of what this is missing. All of the ingredients on here right now, even the lettuce, are just kind of mushed, and I need that crunch to it to really kind of make it stand out, even if it was in the form of like a pickle or something, just anything to help. I do like the flavor from the potato sticks. There's nice little salty zip to those, and it's just a shame that there's not the crunch from it. But you know, this thing has promise. I just feel like they need to do a couple things different. I think they need to cut down on the ham. They need to like really be like, maybe even add the potato sticks on the side and have you put them on yourself, so that way they stay a little crispier. But flavor wise, for the most part, it's hitting. Just some bites aren't as good as other bites, but that's kind of been my experience at D-Luxe Burger with any of their burgers. It's a mystery I've never been able to figure out, and I'm frankly shocked that this tomato has been hanging out the side for this entire time and hasn't fallen yet. I think it deserves an honorable death right now, so I'm going to give it to it. But Rhino, do you have anything else to say about this one right now, or you think you're going to wait to recap it later?
I'll wait.
Okay, so we are going to finish our burgers here at D-Luxe Burger and then head over to, of course, the daily poutine for our specialty poutine item, and we'll fill you in what we think about these burgers as we wrap it all up.
So over here at the Daily Poutine, we went with the offering they had here, which was the Pastelion Poutine, which is sofrito ground beef, fried sweet plantain, shredded cheddar, garlic mayonnaise, French fries, and chives. I'm going to read you the little thing from the that they had on the poster here, because I am actually familiar with Pastelion. It's like we refer to it as a Puerto Rican lasagna because it uses essentially plantains instead of like noodles. But Pastelion is a popular dish featuring sweet plantains and beef made in Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic, often compared to lasagna. This baked layered dish has many variations of how it is made and what ingredients accompany it. Our poutine inspired by Pastelion will give you all the flavors and textures of the dish served in a unique way. I'm gonna say the garlic mayonnaise right away is the unique way for me, because I don't think I've ever had it with garlic mayonnaise before, but I'm gonna get one with a little sweet plantain. I'm gonna get some with a little French fry. I'm gonna try and get all the stuff together. Beef.
I forgot about the beef on it already.
I did too. It was hidden underneath. I'm gonna tell you the problem with this right away. Look, it's not bad. All the flavors are good, but the stuff, it's mostly French fry underneath. The ingredients aren't carrying all the way through to the bottom. I feel like they were a little stingy with that stuff. And then it has these are little sweet plantains, or plantain like chips sort of a thing. And then you have the plantains here, but there's only 1, 2, 3. I ate one. I think this should be at least 50-50, because having them all together, I feel like is how it should work. Otherwise, it's very, I feel like it's got the hint of an idea here, but it doesn't have the execution is a little on the weaker side here. But you give it a try. You let me know what you think.
I have a fully loaded bite ready to go, and I will say, just looking at it, I totally see what Ryan is saying. Definitely it needs to be a lot more ingredients, but that being said, I mean, I guess you could finish all the ingredients that you want, add ketchup to it, and then you're like, hey, double meal, right? That's not how it works. Who cares? Let me try this. I thought the garlic mayonnaise was going to stick out a lot more, but I'm getting a really weird balance of just like beef and sweet from the plantain. I think I had a really small fry on mine compared to the amount of plantains I had, so I didn't have a problem with too much potato, but I can definitely see how it could tilt that way. It's honestly, I feel like it's one of those dishes, whatever you get the most of on your fork, you're going to taste that. It's not actually balanced with all of the flavors. And I love the flavor of it. It's actually, I think it's pretty tasty. And I don't know what I would do to fix it besides just dump more stuff on it. Other than that, I like it. Maybe, you know, maybe even just having only the plantains and kind of skipping the potatoes, but then that might just be way too overly sweet. I feel like we scratched the surface with it, but until we eat more, I can't really figure it out. That's why I'm just kind of sitting here running in circles, sounding like an idiot. So why don't we go ahead, we'll finish the rest of this poutine, and then we'll wrap up and talk about our burger, and we'll talk about this poutine. Rhino, why don't you remind everyone what we had?
Well, we started out with the Tripleta burger from D-Luxe Burger, and then we moved over the Daily Poutine to try the Pastelion Poutine. And I thought the flavors were good. Again, I think you kind of said it. I think it should be like half fries, half of the plantains, because I felt like I just needed like a couple more plantains in there, and I think it would have really kind of evened it all out, and definitely would have stuck those flavors a little more through the dish than just kind of on the surface. So for me, I think the Tripleta burger was the winner. Which honestly, after like having had it a little while ago now, I'm like, I think it was pretty good.
Yep. I think the flavors delivered for both. I would more than likely go back for the burger again versus this poutine.
Yeah.
But both of them had a problem, and I will say that was a sauce problem. On the burger, it was supposed to have that mayo ketchup, but there was something with it that instead of having like a thicker viscosity to it, it was kind of runny.
It looked like they added
watery.
like a oil to it or something, like olive oil or maybe something, because it had that kind of Italian dressing look to it, you know, where it like kind of sits on top.
Yeah, it didn't sit on the burger well, did not blend in well. And honestly, how that ended up, I thought it would have been better over here on our poutine, because ultimately with the poutine, my biggest problem with it was not the flavor. It was just the ingredients didn't have a way to mesh together, because there wasn't that substance that was holding it all together. There wasn't a sauce, there wasn't a gravy. Like they did have that garlic sauce on there, the garlic mayonnaise, but they could only put so much of that on there. So ultimately, there was no binding ingredient. So like at the end of our dish, it was just a bunch of ground beef sitting down there, rather than really mixing all in. So
it's actually interesting they wouldn't reverse them now that you've said that, because I would think that like the tostones or the sweet plantains would lend itself to like that burger, like that, like, you know, we've seen lasagna burgers before, you know. I've had tostones burgers before and stuff like that, so I would think that would have been better in maybe this here, but I mean, I didn't dislike either of them, but I definitely agree with you about the binding agent for this one.
Yeah, I would ultimately, I'd probably get both of them again if I couldn't figure out what else to get. I would definitely order the burger again. The poutine, it would just, if someone else really wanted to try it, I would probably get it. But regardless, I'm always happy when Disney changes things up, when they are working with the specialty items here at Disney Springs, specifically with D-Luxe Burger and the Daily Poutine. So I'll allow them to keep doing this, because you know what? It keeps things fresh for locals, and then it also gives you more options when you're coming on your vacation, and I think that's a great thing.
Yeah, and I'm going to keep my eye out, because I'm curious to see what other offerings they have here for the this celebration that they're doing for Latin and Hispanic American, Hispanic and Latin American cultures. I want to word it exactly how they have it worded.
Exactly. I know there's desserts around, but that's for another day. Today we're just focusing on those savory items, and that's just the kind of guy I am.
Savory.
Yeah. Okay, that's going to do it for this Disney Dining review. If you enjoyed it, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, leave comments, questions, and video suggestions in the comments section. If you want to support us more, you can always book a trip through Dreams Unlimited Travel. Get a free no obligation quote today at dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. That's it for this Disney Dining review. We'll see you again with another one. Take care. Bye-bye.